But again, how do you know they're all female? Does somebody go out to the park and pull up the dinosaurs' skirts?
We control their chromosomes. It's really not that difficult. All vertebrate embryos are inherently female anyway. They just require an extra hormone given at the right developmental stage to make them male. We simply deny them that.
John, the kind of control you're attempting simply is... it's not possible. If there's one thing the history of evolution has taught us, it's that life will not be contained. Life breaks free. It expands to new territories and crashes through barriers, painfully, maybe even dangerously. But, well, there it is.
There it is.
You're implying that a group composed entirely of female animals will breed?
No, I'm simply saying that cheat codes finds a way. It's April 11th, 2018. Welcome to episode 164 of the Cheat Codes podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We're happy you're listening in. The next hour is us drinking a few beers and going over our favorite bits from the past week in video game tech and pop culture news. We're coming to you from an island off the coast of Costa Rica that looks suspiciously like Hawaii.
The 5 deaths?
I'm Joe Ian. That doesn't sound right. John Hammond Erskine, and I'm solo hosting this week, just like the old days. And I'm here with Cheat Codes producer and editor, Mr. Joe Gallimimus Arroyo.
I'm Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah. Cheat Codes core panelist, Mr. Nick Dennis Nedry Golish. On this episode, we will be passive-aggressively threatening an annoying little boy with a raptor claw fossil as we sort out the following. In the wake of much-needed sociological spotlights being shown on industries across the board, some people think that gaming is next. Today's marks the second day of testimony from Mark Zuckerberg in front of the U.S. Senate in the wake of the Cambridge Analytica scandal. We'll attempt to help those curmudgeons grasp the finer points. And as we are wont to do, we're taking another look at the relationship between movies and games, and we're curious if this is not a rewarding relationship. And for the lightning round, we're going to get elbow deep in some dino scat, so to speak, to make sense of these quick topics. Apparently, the Fortnite community is super nice. Did not see that coming. And on the opposite side of that coin, someone made some malware that locks your shit up unless you play PUBG.
It's so perfect. That's good. One topic.
It worked out. Yeah, we're gonna have to just do 2 minutes and then just bang them out. Quick mentions at the top here. We talked a couple weeks ago about Gaguri making as the first female professional Overwatch player. She made her debut this past week.
They just played right now.
Are they playing? Okay,
they
cool.
They just finished their game.
That's awesome. Did they win?
I don't think so.
Did she make them win?
I don't think they won.
Okay. But apparently it was pretty cool. She continues to kind of downplay her involvement in this, again, sociological sort of thing that's happening lately.
I'm a little sad because she's forced to play Diva in the meta, and I just want her to play Zara, which is her character.
That's true, yeah, that's right. Well,
maybe someday.
We'll get there. But that's cool. South Korea dropped the hammer on some game studios for misleading loot box odds, and this comes after a bunch of games like Battlefield 2 decided, you know what? We don't need loot boxes anymore. So then, okay.
But it was as bad as saying there was a 1% chance of getting something, and it was like a 0.0005%.
Right,
chance.
They full on
just straight up lying.
Skewed the numbers big time. So
that's fun.
Yeah, and then I think the other one we wanted to mention at the top here was that Valve changed their terms of service. And by doing so, basically blocked anybody, the API part. Explain it.
I just, there's a service that rates games on Valve based on sales.
Steam Spy, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, hey, this game sold this many times, and now they don't have access to that information. And so their entire
business model is
gone
moot.
Because they can't rate Steam games based on sales anymore.
That's what you get for naming your company something spy.
Well, maybe it seems to me that the Steam thing, it seems to be inadvertent. Maybe they did it on purpose, maybe they didn't. But Steam Spy was clearly overlooked in this regard. But what are you gonna do? Which it kind of sucks though, because I think Steam Spy was something we relied on multiple times when we talked about.
Well, I think a lot of people
certain statistics.
Yeah, I mean, people want to know how well the video games sell.
Yeah, well, totally, for sure.
I guess we got to stick to reviews or something like everything else.
Yeah,
yeah.
like Steam reviews, for instance.
Yeah, those are still going to exist. I mean, most services are just reviews, and you don't actually see how well a Big Mac is selling or something. You go on Yelp and you say a Big Mac was this tasty.
Over 1 billion served.
I don't even think they update that number anymore.
How many chicken fried steaks?
What? Yeah. How are you guys otherwise? What's happening?
Not bad.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good job.
Yeah.
Working.
Yeah, a lot of work stuff.
Definitely.
Making a game.
That's happening. Fucking riveting. All right. Shall we move on? Yeah.
What?
Hold on to your butts.
Well, don't. You ruined it. I got that coming
That's
later.
probably in the script, you dick.
I imagine it was the next part.
I'm sure it will be the beginning, right before the first topic.
I've made a realization. Theme parks will be the downfall of man. First in the 90s, it was Jurassic Park. More recently, we got the Westworld reboot. Both harbor human-facilitated creations that inevitably raise ethical questions about the meaning of life and the definition of existence. And also, a bunch of folks die. So heavy shit. We wonder what comes next as Disney introduces autonomous attractions at parts of its parks. Think about it, man. Damn. We're going to wash all of that down with a few double rainbows from Iron Horse Brewing in Ellensburg, Washington. It's a hoppy red ale, and I do want to read the bottom of the can real quick. It's WTF does double rainbow mean? We're not sure, but we think it means oral euphoria delivered by the best ingestibles known to man. Pacific Northwest hops and specialty malts. Does a double rainbow deliver 2 pots of gold? This one does in your mouth. Wow. That's some fucking marketing right there.
Wish we found a beer that was more about, thinking about
dinosaurs?
life.
Or
it's like a existentialism IPA or something.
Right.
Right. Fight away that dread with a beer.
Well, that was I guess that's what I was kind of getting around to. But
yeah.
Anyway.
Then you ended on double rainbow.
Yeah, it's true. Whatever. It's better than drinking the contents of a Barbasol can. So
it's called heady because it makes you think, and it has a lot of head when you pour it.
Yeah,
but nobody wants that,
and it's good in your mouth.
All right, hold on to your butts.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you want to say it again? No. You wrote the script.
It's fine.
Okay.
You guys said it twice, so we're good.
Fine.
That's one for each cheek. Number one, as Jeremy Horowitz reports from VentureBeat, the GamesBeat Summit opened up with remarks touching on the rise of the Me Too and Time's Up movements, and we're starting to see them kind of spill into the gaming industry. Toxicity is bringing accountability. Diversity in game studios is begetting diversity in the games themselves, and the audiences are just getting bigger. A lot of credit is being foisted upon the Black Panther movie as well, which is now the 3rd highest grossing film of all time. It's not hard to see why, but some of the results are worth noting. Movies, for instance, being 2-hour doses, as opposed to games being a more drawn-out experience, depending on what you're playing. The agency that's there, being able to play characters of different races and genders. And then ideas from films like Ready Player One, which we saw recently, for better or for worse. For worse. Yeah.
I liked it.
It was fine. But
it was hot garbage. Go on.
They make a point in the article that the ideas of gender and race get completely just moved aside when you can make yourself a cat or an alligator, which is cool. And accessibility gets credit too, because when you're putting on a VR headset, it doesn't matter if you're in a wheelchair or have some other disability, you can still take part to for the most part, unless you're blind, I guess. But it helps. It's nice. But Black Panther got a lot of credit in the sense that from some of the things it talks about kind of mirrors what was happening in the real world, or at least there were touchstones that people could kind of relate to. Did you guys see Black Panther?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you guys think?
I mean, I hadn't seen it by the time you guys themed one of our episodes.
Right.
But then I saw it the following weekend.
Right.
So it was great.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I thought it was cool.
It was better than just a superhero movie.
I put it kind of it was the best superhero movie I'd seen since probably Dark Knight Rises. I enjoyed it more than most of the other Marvel stuff. Not to say that some of the Marvel stuff wasn't good. Logan's up there too, probably.
Logan's pretty good.
Yeah.
First Guardian of the Galaxy, Black Panther.
Yeah,
I think those were the stars basically. But I don't know. It's cool to see. I mean, to get that kind of recognition. There was another article where Zoe or is it Zoe Saldana?
Zoe.
Saldana.
Yeah.
Okay. She was defending actors who play superheroes and everything. People aren't taking it seriously or something. Sure. And now because a movie has done so well that is a superhero movie, is should we reevaluate what we understand about movies, or what we require to be Academy Award winning movies or something, I guess. Or even,
Sure.
Oh, the day we have a superhero movie, start taking home Oscars or something.
Yeah,
when Heath Ledger won Best Supporting for Joker.
I mean, it's already happened.
Kinda. You know what I mean? Do I think there's an Oscar in Marvel's future? I don't know.
I don't know. I think they're fun. They're a little generic to be Oscar winners, typically, in my opinion. But they're getting better.
Well, and that's kind of why I think you can make the argument too, like why you don't see like video game movies very often. Like Pixels probably not going to pick up an Oscar. You know what I mean?
Well, speaking of that, Rampage is coming out.
Hey,
we'll
save it. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
I was happy to see. I think the timing of Black Panther was really necessary for the MCU because they kind of ended up in comedy only territory for a while there, and it was getting a little scary that was the only way they were going to build their or continue their franchise.
Yeah, it's weird you said that because I was like, I watched Thor Ragnarok 2 days before I saw Black Panther, and I was like, oh, if this is where Marvel's going, I kind of it's cool. They're not taking themselves seriously. It's all right. It's enjoyable.
Fun.
It is fun.
Sure.
But then I saw Black Panther, and I was like, oh, you're fucking taking yourself seriously.
Yeah.
And that's cool. You know what I mean? It worked both ways. So it's nice to have kind of a spectrum there. You know what I mean?
It just didn't feel like a superhero movie, though. It was a superhero movie, but it felt first foremost like some kind of, I can't think of an equating story, but it was mostly about a family
taking back the throne,
kind of story. My family was
Prodigal
dethroned or
son
something.
returns
it's like Dune or something in a way.
Sure.
Yeah, it had that vibe.
Yeah.
Needs more spice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More spice.
From I guess I'm going to try and attempt to
Wrap it back.
segue, come back around here a little bit. But
games.
what it did do well was have a perspective, I think, that we didn't see very often or hadn't seen done the way it was done. And I felt like what Black Panther did best was cram a bunch of important sociological kind of commentary into it without beating you over the head with it. You know what I mean? And they managed to kind of address a bunch of issues like, growing up without a dad, inner urban violence, that kind of stuff, growing up around that. They got all that stuff in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He did such a cool Ryan Coogler, the director, did a really good job of kind of bringing that all together without feeling like it was too much. You know what I mean?
Right.
Too much information at once, anyway. But the perspectives were really cool, and I guess kind of what they drew upon in the article here, in reference to the games industry, is that what we're finding is that yes, it's a predominantly white male industry still, but as we start diversifying hires, we start to see the diversification of titles, but we also see these other perspectives kind of come in and start informing the development process and the choices in design and art and everything else that get made. And that's
it's weird because games are such an easy way to be representative, because all you have to do is create the content for the player choice to allow them to represent themselves.
right.
And yet we lacked that for so long just because of the people who are making them.
Yeah.
And it's weird.
It
in a
is.
movie, you're stuck with what you got, right?
It
so
is.
you can represent a culture or whatever you're intending to represent. But once you've put it out there in a film, that's all it is, which is great.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But a game has the ability to represent people without that being the core theme. Mm. And yet we still lacked in that for so many years.
It is, right? It feels like it was definitely like that weird white boys club for a long time.
Totally.
And it still is, I guess.
It still is.
It's getting better slowly.
It's getting
steps,
better.
for sure.
Better all the time.
Sorry. And to the point,
Don't be
and
sorry.
we know it's getting better because not only it's easy to make that content that you're talking about, but people actually want you to go out and get a consultant that has some true life experience or a proper opinion or perspective on culture, race, whatever it is, to be represented appropriately. And
that's smart.
It's appropriate. You know what I mean? You should do that. You know what I mean? Go talk to somebody who knows what the hell they're talking about, and then put that in your game. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's sort of the importance of having a diverse group of people working on the game, for sure. And it's not the diversity hire checkbox shit, but at the end of the day, if you try and represent a culture that you have no experience in your game, you're asking to fail there too. So be careful.
Good luck. Yeah. Good luck.
Black Panther did a good job of as opposed to video games that I see with more diverse casts or something, it's usually just almost a reskin. I feel like it feels like you could almost tell the same story with a different character, but you just make them white, or you just make them black, or you just make them Asian or something,
right,
and tell the same story,
or female, whatever,
or female,
yeah.
and it's not really including that culture in a way. You're including a race, I guess, which makes it feel a little bit more inclusive or something. But something that Black Panther did really well is they included an entire culture.
Actual cultural storytelling, not just people of a specific culture being represented in the film.
Right. Like watching some of the behind the scenes stuff or the articles that were written, like about the concept art, the costumes, everything, the set building, and how they pulled from all sorts of different tribes from around Africa, like, you know what I mean? Like to pull that together to not only represent just a wide swath of that, but
I'm not even saying like that included, but
like that's what that reminded me of.
And not even just what Black Panther did great is not even just African culture. Like they included hood culture. I'm using the
sure colloquialism,
air quotes or something in a way. Like it's oppressed Black Americans in a way. They included that culture and everything. So like it's really inclusive of everything.
It's one of those films that's like okay, it's not real, and a lot of it is just completely imaginary, but it's still awfully educating.
Yeah,
you come out of it feeling a bit educated,
right? And if that means like sweetening a bitter pill for people to kind of like open their minds a little, then so fucking be it. You know what I mean? Mary Poppins the shit out of that.
Sure.
Like I'm happy.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
So I'm good with it. You know what I mean? I enjoyed the shit out of it, and it's nice. I mean, we're seeing it happen, like even more and more, like even with the Overwatch League, right? Like dudes are getting suspended for being assholes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they're like we are going to actually incentivize like good behavior here. You know what I mean? Which is
right. PewDiePie getting running out of pie.
What the fuck happened to him?
I don't care.
Yeah.
I could care less.
It's cool now because Logan Paul's on Twitch. We're good.
That's unfortunate.
That's another huge controversy.
Yeah, I don't.
His brother playing and everything. Like I just can't read stuff without reading about Logan Paul or Ninja on Twitch playing Fortnite.
Logan Paul is one of those guys where like I can't stomach more than 10 seconds of that dude.
Oh, yeah.
And then like
that's 10 more seconds than I've given.
Even
it,
I'm saying like even when someone's doing like an expose of like watch this for context so I can explain how bad he is, and I'm like 10 seconds in, nope.
I didn't need to be convinced.
Yeah, right. Pretty sure I saw where this was going. But yeah, I hear you. It doesn't make it any easier to stomach for sure. All right.
So the whole thing is like, are we approaching that moment in video games? Like,
it's coming. I don't know if we're there yet, but it's definitely coming. Yeah. I think we've seen like weird things that like didn't something happen in the wake of all the like the Me Too and Time's Up stuff, like David Cage's studio, like people, the guys were doing Too Human. Mm-hmm. They were thrown under the rug a little bit about some shitty work practices and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so like little things like that are starting to pop up. You know what I mean? And
I think we have a lot.
I hope there's not a Harvey. I hope there's not like a Harvey Weinstein behind some big game studio somewhere. You know what I mean? But
I'm sure
there is. Yeah. Let's not hope that it doesn't exist. Let's hope that we
if it does,
become aware of those things.
Yes, I'm just saying like I hope that that. I don't know. I don't want it to be.
It's very likely that this
exists. I know.
So,
I'm making hope, but yes, if it is happening, then we should fucking get that out there. Yeah. But hopefully it's not. But
Nick has a valid point though that is good to end on. I mean, in terms of games, if we're trying to actually represent cultures, just reskinning is not going to be enough. So I'm interested to see where games go, where they actually can form stories related to those relationships, or to focus intently on representing a culture for that game and the story that they're telling.
So look forward to the Black Panther game coming out soon. No,
I don't play movie to game.
Waiting on Spider-Man. All right,
right? Okay,
the new one.
That's pretty legit.
It does
looks pretty Batman.
Sure.
Except it's Spider-Man.
But
they're
less money.
Yeah.
Can Batman do this?
Probably.
I mean, if he wanted to.
Yeah.
I hope the listener is like, what the fuck is he doing?
He's web slinging. He's web slinging. It's fine.
Not. I was doing the...
that reminds me of
I was doing the Tobey Maguire smile.
Or you do the Wakanda salute.
Yeah. No, Wakanda forever. I don't know if you saw... Did you see that SNL sketch? All right, never mind.
Oh, boy.
Spider-Man goes like this. And Superman goes like this with his arm up there. And Black Panther goes
Wakanda.
Oh, that's right. He hosted SNL, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty great. A couple of white people wanting to do the salute, and then it was like this group of black people deciding whether or not it was okay to let
for them to do it.
Sure,
sure.
It was very good.
That's awesome.
All right. Number 2.
Zuckerberg's Senate testimony is underway, and at the time of this recording, day 2 of a number equal to 2. I think today he was only a 2-day testimony, so this was a dumb thing to write. But has wrapped up. For someone largely regarded as disconnected or largely robotic, Zuckerberg seemed kind of genial. After a while, he seemed to settle down. And while not quite answering some questions, he did manage to display some personality. And oh boy, the memes. Oh, the internet had a fucking field
Twitter
day with this.
roast.
Oh my, it was so good.
The data one you said?
So
Mr.
good.
Data
The more data I
Analytics.
collect, the more I learn.
Or something.
Oh, so good. However, Elena Plott reports for The Atlantic, and she surmises that the Senate seemed preoccupied with the basic functionality of Facebook and less with the cultural and political implications it's had. Elections, Cambridge Analytica, etc. Did you guys watch any of the coverage?
Yes.
I didn't.
I watched some of the coverage on and off, and then watched a lot of the like sort of recap moments and stuff like that were important, I suppose.
Reading this article summed it up for me. There's a quote that she had. The hearing became a real-world simulation of a common Facebook experience. A grandparent asking their grandchild in all caps how exactly this all works. Yeah, in a nutshell, that's what it felt like.
It has never been more prevalent of the generation gap than sitting in front of a judiciary committee
Right.
about technology with them. They don't know what they're trying to ask.
Right. It's like, some bad shit happened. Explain to me why this happened. It's like, what?
Explain why it's bad.
Right.
Let's say probably the most notable quote, the one that probably threw everyone back.
Sure.
Because how is this not information you know going into this hearing? In fact, how do you not know this about the company? Is when he was like, wait, I'm sorry. If Facebook is free, how do you guys make any money?
Right.
And he was dead serious. And you saw it on Zuckerberg's face. That's when the color started returning, where he was like, oh, I'm not worried. You guys have no idea what the fuck's going on.
I'm good.
And he
I'm
just
good.
answered, he goes, Senator, we sell ads. And it was just simple. And it felt good. It was like, you fucking dummy.
Yeah. Well, he'd spent, apparently, there's been multiple sources that said this, that he spent a good amount of time getting prepped for this, like with lawyers and everything else.
But why didn't the Judiciary Committee spend time getting prepped for
That's
this?
the absolutely relevant
That question
No,
shouldn't
it-
exist
no,
in that committee.
When there is a judiciary
here's
hearing, that, like you would like 9 times out of 10, the senators have an answer to the question that they're asking already.
Yes.
And they want to hear it from the horse's mouth. You know what I mean? So this felt more like, hey, can you teach us about your face novel, your head book? What is it? You know what I mean? It's like, wait, what the fuck?
I was going to say, senators don't understand the things that they talk about. They vote on creating committees to
Find out.
create the understanding and regulations about those kind of things. So, like, when you ask a senator to you can't ask a senator to understand everything that is going on under the laws that, like, they can't possibly know all the regulations because they create agencies to do those kind of things. They create agencies to be able to.
But this is the committee.
Right.
They failed in making a proper committee for this kind of thing.
So I mean,
But
at
yeah,
this point,
they
like I
created the
agree
committee
with
out of
you.
themselves.
Yeah, I agree with you 9 times out of 10. Like you can't hire someone who knows everything about everything they're going to vote on. Like I totally get that. But in this situation, if you knew 2 weeks in advance, 3 weeks in advance, or a very long time in advance, like the public knew about this hearing, would you not do your fucking job, the thing you're paid for, the due diligence to investigate, research, and come up with viable questions to ask the
NRA doesn't
individual?
pay him to do that.
Well,
Exactly.
It's more like, well, the president uses Twitter, so why do I care about Facebook? You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Yeah,
So.
I can't see you over the gift basket of guns. Is that you over there?
Right. And
Shoot twice if you hear me.
strangely enough, Paul Ryan announced he was not going to be seeking re-election.
Well, yeah, because
That was
he's
an odd one.
got this nice little retirement.
Yeah.
Just a wee little bit. It puts him in like the top 12% of
Right.
everybody.
Are we all going back to MySpace or what?
I'm
Friendster.
Did we do this? Feels like we did this joke already.
Yeah.
I honestly just use like Discord now to talk to everybody. I like I have channels and I just instant message people through that instead. Like,
Right
I
on.
it's only a matter of time before they start selling ads or something.
Is Facebook going anywhere?
No,
No, right? Definitely not.
I did read something where like it was absolutely stupid like numbers on it, like they could owe like $2.2 trillion like dollars or something based on like these allegations or something. If like every person who lost money like was paid like $10,000 or something,
Right.
or every person whose data was mined and they see repercussions or something. Like it put him out of business because nobody has $2 trillion. But
That's never going to happen.
yeah, so that's not going to happen, obviously.
And even then, if that happened, that would be a class action suit, and that is way less payout ever than
Yeah,
$10,000.
It's like, here's your quarter.
Yeah, that's pretty much how that plays out.
Exactly. I tried to sum this up as best I could, just like the general vibe. Like I didn't watch all of the testimony, and I know that there's probably a bunch of details in there. Like what they actually did ask him about, like Face Mash or whatever, like the girl rating website that he built and stuff. And I guess that got awkward.
Well, yeah, because how do you're like, well...
But I'm also looking at him like...
thought we were going to talk about Facebook, not MASH.
Right. Well, it's like, but I'm like, you're talking to a guy who is the quintessential kind of like Silicon Valley... Like you see this on, he's the Thomas Middleditch character from Silicon Valley. Probably like a little socially awkward, like maybe a little emotionally underdeveloped, or at least that's how he comes across. You know what I mean? And it's like you expect him to have this like winning personality and be a multi-billionaire, and that's not necessarily how it works.
Usually not.
So
for the Silicon Valley, leaders.
No,
right.
we're fucking weird when we're rich. Like,
yeah, it's because you can afford to be. You know what I mean? But all right, so in an attempt to kind of like encapsulate this whole thing in a simple couple sentences, like, so he got caught doing something we all knew he was doing anyway. So let's get a bunch of angry old men to yell at him for 2 days because they clearly don't have anything better to do. But I guess because the website got co-opted into influencing an election, they feel the need to defend democracy.
By not defending democracy, by just sort of asking how it
right. It was not a fact. It felt like an informal interview, not like a fact finding mission.
It's a first step. It's like something needs to be done about.
That's
this,
very generous.
So.
That's very generous. They had 2 days though.
You know what?
I feel like they would have like dug in a little bit.
Again, I applaud you, sir. I mean, at least if an individual says, "How do I use computer?" At least they're asking that question. Fuck. I mean, at some point, they need to gather that information. If it means bringing in one of the top tech CEOs,
so hey,
to
we clearly
answer
didn't
it.
understand this. Let's bring in more people so we can ask them questions about how the internet works.
Well, it has raised that question, right? Of like regulation, like how, like what kind of oversight does this need, and like there was the whole thing about Facebook need a paid version, and the mission statement for Facebook has always been it's going to be free, but he did say it's like there will always be a free version of Facebook, but we will think about a paid version in the sense that like advertisers would either have to pay even more handsomely, or at least you would cut out ads altogether, like you do with other services by being a paid member, right? So,
all right, what are some of the worst questions you can think of somebody who doesn't understand how the internet works asking Mark Zuckerberg?
Mark Zuckerberg.
So you're telling me I just type in this thing and it pops up, and then I click on it?
So I go to Google, and then I search Facebook.com.
So when I put in my AOL CD,
how many hours do I have left?
Is poking sexual?
oh, that's poke.
I don't want to. I want to.
Yes, very sexual. Fish is an aphrodisiac.
Where's the thumbs down button?
Yeah.
There you go.
How do I unlike something? Now, if I am scrolling through photos of my ex-girlfriend from 10 years ago and accidentally like it, but quickly unlike it, will she find out?
How much time did it take for you to unlike
it? And do you remember that I did that? And then start sending me ads for depression medication.
That's right. Like dude, that shit is so fucking crazy. Yeah, I was actually listening to an interview today about with Bill Collins. I don't know. He's the guy who started Grantland, the ESPN kind of like website that spun off onto its own kind of like boutique sports reporting thing. Great interview, and he was talking about how back in the day, like when the internet was still kind of figuring itself out, like they didn't trust the idea that these social media websites were going to have everything was hedging on the way their algorithms worked, because as soon as they change an algorithm, they're all fucked. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And I just thought that was really interesting in relationship. Knowing that we were going to talk about this today, I was kind of like. Yeah, like maybe when you're building industries and everything else, like consider the other options outside of social media. It's a hard one. It's a hard thing to do because so much is built around it. You know what I mean? And as far as marketing and getting known and exposure, but
I mean, we do it with. I mean, you basically need some kind of social media to sign up for anything. I mean, it's basically a telephone number,
It's a weird social security now.
It's a social security. I mean, my Gmail is like the most important thing I enter into every website. Basically,
it's like a second form of ID almost. Yeah, for sure.
It's weird when they start like crossing like that. I just remember the first time I made the switch many years ago to like Android from iPhone and stuff, and
Right.
and I'm in and I'm logged in. I'm gonna download a new app, and I'm like figuring it out. And it's like, would you like to purchase this app for $2.99? And I'm like, I'd have to put in my credit card. It's like, no, we already have it because you use your Gmail. We use Google, and it's already on file. And it was like, oh shit, that's great.
Is it?
That actually happened to me.
That's fair, but I'm sure it happens to a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, think of it, you go through a website, and I mentioned this before. I think you just press the sign in with Facebook, and it just a bunch of things pop up, disappear, and then you're signed in, and they have all your information. You don't know what to do.
I like how a bunch of things pop up and disappear. That's the stuff that led to this judiciary.
Well, that's it.
Accept.
Wait, what did I just? Who? What?
I'm not even saying that. Like it doesn't have to accept it. It's usually like another window popping up and like logging into Facebook, and then actually sending the information or something. But then it's because it has my information already saved in the browser, and so Google tells Facebook that Facebook can log into BattleNet so I can play Overwatch or something.
Sure.
It's like, what?
Wow.
No,
it's a lot.
Overwatch, not WoW.
Nice. Well done.
I'm moving on. Let's move on.
All right.
I don't want.
What? But the big takeaway though at the same time is like it's not just Facebook that's doing this.
No, yeah, everything. I mean, everything you're signed
Amazon,
into.
Google.
We just mentioned a Gmail. Everybody has a Gmail. I mean, I don't know anybody in this room that doesn't have a Gmail.
Yahoo's not really a thing anymore. So yeah,
It's only prevalent when something goes wrong with it, and then everyone wants to like look at start to focus on one specific entity. But the reality is, this is happening with every major tech company or service that you do. I mean,
I was reading an article walking in here about Amazon how they're doing the voice whisper. They just patented the voice whisper technology. They're like, no, we swear we're not listening to you, but our Alexas are going to be able to identify you just by you speaking
and know where to fly the drone to deliver your stuff.
Yeah, but no, Trump's closing Amazon.
Is that
fine?
Oh, okay. I think my favorite.
My favorite. The Washington Post.
I think my
Right.
Washington Post. Yeah.
By murdering Bezos.
I think my favorite tweet of that was like Bezos should just take his pocket change and buy Twitter and then just delete Trump's account. I was like, okay.
I like that.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Anyway. New term service can't be Trump.
Do you accept? Sure.
Do you accept? The only answer is yes. There is no.
It's yes. Use my Facebook account or no.
Right.
What are the legalities of adding absolutely asinine things to a user agreement?
Well, that's a good point because there was one senator that came out and basically said to Zuckerberg, "It's like your fucking user agreement sucks." Like literally just said that, like verbatim. You know what I mean? So like, I'm like, I give it 48 hours before some employee at Facebook drops in like that senator fucking sucks dick or something like that into the user agreement because everybody knows they're not going to read it.
Even legitimate binding things like can you actually target a specific user in a user agreement just because okay, so everyone signs
this user agreement.
Yes, of course you can do anything you want with user agreement.
So
if they don't
you can't
accept
be
it.
Trump one is like a legitimate thing that's weird.
I mean, I think
but no one's going to do an individual thing like that.
Would you say that? But
it's like you can. I mean, you're accepting a user. It's like, hey, I accept your terms. Let me play your thing, and then you say, oh, I don't want to accept those terms. They don't let you play. Like it's.
Let's flex those muscles. I want to see where this goes.
It's a contract. I mean,
do we have a user agreement
for
cheat codes? Do we need to start one? Should
yeah,
we get a user agreement.
Let's do it right now.
Okay. You can't beat Trump. Done. All right.
Number 3.
Yeah. A much belabored point on this show and beyond. Why is it so hard to turn a good video game into a good movie? I don't know. Steve Rose, a movie critic for The Guardian, thinks he does. In fact, he lays it out as the closing remark in a recent article. If you want to make a decent game movie, start with the movie, not the game. Is it that simple? What can we bring to this conversation that we haven't already? And is it that we're all just waiting for someone to magically get it and hope that somebody takes a property and makes a movie out of it? I don't know. We've seen Assassin's Creed come and go with very little fanfare. Same with Tomb Raider. Warcraft probably got the brunt of it recently. Yeah. But apparently,
wow.
Rampage is good. Nice.
Thank you. What about Rampage?
Rampage is supposed to be pretty good.
That's what I hear. I mean,
Movie Bob said so.
Metacritic. I was looking at Metacritic. They didn't have much on it. I don't even know if the movie's actually out yet. It probably comes out this weekend.
Yeah, I imagine screeners have gotten around, but early previews.
I mean, it's perfect for this kind of movie. It's like kind of like what I want video game movies to be. It's like, hey, you take a loose idea and then you make some fucking plot.
Yeah, there's no
plot
plot to Rampage,
and you put the Rock in it.
That's why it works.
Rock's the best-selling actor right now, or something.
Yeah,
or rather, that's why it can work.
Yeah, you don't have to put a big name thing in it. I think it really helps that the Rock's in this. That it's going to sell it.
Yep.
But I mean, stop trying to tell us the story of the game and just tell us.
Give us the universe and then make something in that universe. Kind of thing. We've said this before. I think that's true. So. I was thinking about this a lot today too, and I was like, Rampage is a ridiculous concept. It's King Kong and it's Godzilla and it's a big ass wolf, right? Running around and punching holes in buildings.
They're on buildings, punching buildings, and then punching each other.
It's a super, very like simple, old school video game idea, right? Like I played the shit out of Rampage. I loved that.
I played a lot of Rampage.
It was great. It was like an early, like it was a power fantasy kind of thing. You know what I mean? For sure. And like, it's ridiculous. It really is. And so when you throw it into a movie like that, like if you don't take it, if you're willing to kind of find that nice line of here's some plot and exposition, some cool special effects, and here's a movie star, but we're gonna go full fucking ridiculous. It doesn't matter. Like I think that's a win. That is a video game. Like people think movies are this high art form. And video games aren't. You know what I mean? Even though I think that is changing, and we've talked about that in the past too. But people just assume that it's like, oh, if it's a video game movie, I think it's kind of the point now where it's like they just assume it's going to be bad.
People are just brushing it off.
Yeah. And
well, hey, good news. The bar's low. Let's get moving.
Right. So like,
you don't even have to make a great
like
movie.
Rampage.
Yeah,
this is why
exactly.
Rampage works because it's like if the bar's low, then fuck, we can have some fun. And when you're having fun and people are into it, then like that comes across. You know what I mean?
We're not doing the limbo here. Just step over the bar.
That's it. You can still serve those drinks. Fuck it, man. Let's go. I'm glad that maybe it's getting better, but at the same time, it's like if people are expecting Schindler's List out of the Assassin's Creed, or they're expecting fucking, I don't know, Citizen Kane out of Tomb Raider, then you're setting the bar way too fucking high. You know what I mean? Like let it just be its own thing. Maybe.
So here's the weird part for me. I don't think those even go in the same realm anymore. I mean, where games have gone, I agree with you, like in past games, but like resurrecting a game into a movie. But anything current, I mean, games are a storytelling mechanism now that can tell you any real story. Sure. So it's weird that we do that relation still, where we're like,
it worked for books, I guess, but I mean,
no, I mean the whole concept of like, oh, it's a movie being made of a game, so it's already silly because games are silly.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Like that's a weird connection for me mentally because it's just not true anymore. No. I understand how people feel that way because of the way games evolved.
We've all grown up with that kind of weird mentality.
But like games are very not silly now.
A lot of them are.
Or they can be.
They can.
I mean, whatever.
Shower with your dad simulator.
Well, I watched the Papers, Please
it's a little
movie.
silly.
Let's get the rock in that one.
Was that good?
Yeah, it's only like 15 minutes or something. But it's Papers, Please, and it takes place.
Oh, the short? I really wanted to watch that. I heard it was really good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Right. I mean, that's probably better than Rampage's, but I don't know if it's a real movie because it's only 10 minutes long.
That game was also very good.
Yeah. So I mean, they didn't tell the same story. They just took the idea and they just did something.
Made a short out of it. Yeah, that's cool. I more of that, and I think they tried to do that with Assassin's Creed. Like it's not necessarily Ezio or whatever. Like one of the assassins from the games. It was like, here's the universe that we created. Here's the corporation, the Abstergo or whatever. Yeah, and the Templars. You know what I mean? And like it had like the cast was pretty heavy hitting. You know what I mean? Marion Cotillard and Fassbender.
Fassbender's a little overrated, I think, but
I think he's capable of doing really good things.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure this was a good fit for sure. And I'm pretty sure he's actually married in real life to the Vikander who plays Tomb Raider, actually. So
okay,
yeah, interesting.
Did you see that movie?
I did not see Tomb Raider.
I didn't see that
Neither
either.
did I. I don't know why.
Well, you like the new one, I guess.
I liked the game
because I looked at it and I brushed it off. I was like, this is not going to be good.
Yeah, it's that thing. It's that stigma. Well, for me, it's really hard to go see a video game movie in theaters because the bar was so. It's like, oh wait, I think I have every intention of seeing Tomb Raider. I just had no intention of paying money to go to a theater to see.
Yeah, that'll be
probably any video game movie right now.
What video game movie would you see in theaters?
Maybe Uncharted, knowing it was going to be bad.
I don't know
if that makes sense.
I don't want to hear your answers to modern games that are already movies. I want to hear like some kind of childhood fantasy.
But that's being made into a movie, so
yeah, but that's going to suck.
Well, so you want to hear one that I like really genuinely would want?
Yeah, like you're like, oh, I want to see the Uncharted one because that's coming out. But what is a game you would want to see made into a movie though? Instead, like,
I'd want to see a Final Fantasy movie, like a live action one.
Well, they did an animated one.
They did the Spirits Away one, which is
not
with the Uncanny Valley. Uncanny Valley.
Uncanny Valley.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I saw that movie.
That had a pretty heavy hitting cast too, voice actors.
Yeah,
it was not that.
No, I'd want to see a live action Final Fantasy. You know what's great about that? Because Final Fantasy has no. it has universal boundaries, but not storytelling boundaries.
Yes.
And that's what makes it really interesting. Like, you already have a really rich universe that's fairly consistent between each one, but you're not bound by any one story. Like, you don't have to tell the story of the cast of Final Fantasy VII. You can make a Final Fantasy movie that has no one recognizable because it's about characters that take place in a universe, like every one of the games is.
They did that like with the Final, and you want it to be live action, which is one of your stipulations. I understand. I just don't know if Final Fantasy. No, I'm not to like put down your idea.
Yeah, fuck you.
I just don't feel like Final Fantasy is a great
Safe space, guys. Safe space.
a great one because I feel like a video game movie that works really well is one that has kind of like more established rules than the universe of Final Fantasy does.
We just said Rampage is great because it doesn't have enough established concept, and I think that's why Final Fantasy would work
From a
well.
narrative standpoint, I think.
But you're saying Final Fantasy. Why would I get excited about Final Fantasy? I'm not excited about the new Final Fantasy because I don't know anything about the story necessarily.
I mean, I'd be excited about Final Fantasy because it's like, oh, there's gonna be chocobos. Like, that's what I want to see the universe, right? How much materia they're gonna put in.
Serkis is the chocobo.
There's like 3 constants between it, and it's like usually there's chocobos and there's crystals or something, and then I don't know what the third one is.
Yeah, is Wayne Brady gonna have the chocobo?
The best self-made meme of all time.
I'm surprised like nobody says Zelda or something because Zelda's I feel like
Zelda's the one. Zelda's the one I think that everybody's
good
kind of
one,
waiting on. But like, so we talked about this months back, where Nintendo's finally starting to entertain the idea of like flirting with Hollywood.
No, they're making a Mario movie. They're making a 3D Mario movie,
like an animated one?
animated 3D Mario.
Okay,
movie. And
well, the Pikachu detective movie's coming with your man Ryan Reynolds doing the voice. So,
why is he my man? I don't have anything.
I don't know. He's your boy.
He's your favorite.
He is your favorite
because you love him.
You love him.
I mean,
I'm not sure if that's true, but we're just going to make that true right now.
He's blushing. Nick's blushing.
I'm trying to think about it if he's cool or
He is
not.
pretty cute.
He is, I mean, he is attractive.
Well, it just reminded me of like
He's no Idris
TJ
Elba,
Miller
but
because he's skinny Ryan Reynolds and
Yo, you heard what happened to TJ Miller?
Yeah, he got arrested or something.
for
Dude, arrested for
a
being
bomb threat?
dick.
A bomb threat.
Holy crap!
Apparently, this is not the first time.
That's a new level of rage right there, man.
Yeah, and I not for nothing. I've been
You
watching
cut me in line, I'm going to call it a bomb threat.
the new Silicon Valley season started, and he's not in this one, and it's still real good. So,
yeah, he didn't make or break the show for me.
no. But
Yeah, he was just the guy who owned the house.
and actually, where they took that storyline,
They took to it,
oh
new
my
house,
god,
probably?
it's they continued that storyline, and it's great. But regardless, I don't know, video games as movies. I think if you embrace the idea that the idea of video game logic to a certain degree, where certain things don't necessarily have to be realistic, I think you're better off in the long run.
Yeah, maybe. It doesn't play
It's
as
more
nice.
than that,
like,
though. It's
like
more
Zelda,
than that, though.
The reason why Zelda as a live action, I feel like, doesn't resonate with me is because cast that. Fucking cast.
We already
We
did.
did.
It's
Kanye
Taylor
and
Swift.
Swift and
Yeah,
Kanye.
I got you.
And
Okay.
Kanye is
For real, cast that.
I think
With
that's
someone
a
I would
good
watch
cast.
the movie for.
I would watch that movie.
Okay, I would watch it too. God damn it.
Right.
Ryan
plays
Reynolds.
Navi?
Ryan Reynolds as Princess Zelda. Just saying. Okay.
Okay, we
Who
can
plays
call
the
that.
little Navi?
I don't
The
know.
little fairy. Is that her name?
Carol Choto. obviously.
Choto.
Done.
I was gonna say bring back Julia Roberts.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
Have you heard the stories about her and Spielberg getting along on Hook?
No,
Yeah, you should look that up.
as in they didn't.
They did not.
Oh, okay. Well, no one said Spielberg had to make the fucking
That's
Zelda
true.
movie.
Well,
In
who's
fact,
gonna
I'm
make
not. Hopefully, no one that
Oh, so
thinks
that's-
driving
but that's-
backwards
that's
solves a
better
puzzle.
question. That's a better question, though. Who's going to make that movie?
What, the Zelda one?
Yeah. Who directs Zelda? It's not just necessarily about the cast. Who's going to direct it? Who gets it?
Quentin Tarantino.
I don't know because
I just want to see where he takes it.
No,
There's a lot of fucks, a lot of fucking handguns.
He's busy making Star Trek movies, okay? And I need him to do that.
also
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, he's in line to make. He's writing like one of the Star Trek scripts for scripts
He
for the
threw
next
up an
movie.
idea, and then all of a sudden it caught.
Oh, I do remember hearing about
we talked
that
about
vaguely.
it.
It's all going to take place in 10 forward.
He's doing the. He's
the
doing
entire movie is in 10
Yeah,
forward.
right. It's just one. It's a one camera. Fucking. It was a play.
Essentially, it's Pulp Fiction, but with tricorders. It's cool. He's doing the Manson movie first.
So which one?
The Charles Manson movie.
Is that his 9th then? And so Star
Yeah.
Trek's going to be his last movie?
That's what people are thinking. Which
That's
seems
kind of
weird.
legit.
That's
That's pretty badass.
I hope it's Star Trek.
It'd be cool. So, or he'll EP the Star Trek movie and then make something else on it or something.
And then come out of retirement to make
We-
more
we
movies.
just
That's
got
what-
into-
That's what directors do.
Because yeah,
We went from games into movies to which is Tarantino's last film going to be?
that's what we do here.
The point is, don't watch the Warcraft movie.
That's the real
That's
point.
the real
That's
point
our
of the story.
takeaway.
Sorry, David Bowie's son. Sorry.
I hear Rampage is good. Go watch Papers, Please.
Are
Give Peas a
there
chance.
existing other? I always forget. Like, are there other existing video game franchises that are worth watching right now? I feel like you would say Resident Evil.
I mean, yeah, Resident Evil's not terrible. Like, it's ridiculous, but it's...
That's okay. We've established that ridiculous is fine.
I mean, there's plenty of stuff there, and it's like... It's just a bunch of cool action scenes, I guess. Right. I don't know.
It's that, and then there's like every U-Bowl movie ever made.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So...
Prince of Persia, Jake Gyllenhaal.
These days, that doesn't go so well, because it's like, why you got a white guy playing a Persian dude? Like, that doesn't make... Like, or Iranian, sorry. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Well, neither does time travel, but...
There's an equivocation.
We're good. That's good.
We did it. We're going to take a quick break, everybody, and we'll be back with the lightning round. Stay tuned. We love you. It's time for another drink.
For you, the listeners of the Cheat Codes podcast, Loot Crate is offering an opportunity to save 10% on any new subscription. Loot Crate is a monthly mystery crate service that delivers the best in geek and gaming gear, from collectibles, apparel, tech gadgets, art, and other epic goodies. Head over to trylootcrate.com/cheatcodes. That's trylootcrate.com/cheatcodes and enter the promo code BRIDGE10 for your 10% savings.
All right, panel, it's time for the lightning round. Here's how it works. We're going to take two quick topics and then give each member of the panel a minute to chime in, mostly uninterrupted. At the end of each minute, Mr. Joe Arroyo will award each panelist a quantity of some type of points based on nothing in particular. I will let Joe know what he deserves when it's his turn.
Sounds rough. Wish you didn't say it like that.
I mean,
You get what you deserve.
that's right.
Thanks, Daddy.
Yes. Oh, boy. Topic the A?
Topic the A.
All right. Riding on the wave of its enormous success, Fortnite's community is largely getting applauded for its friendly nature. We know what you're thinking. There's an argument to be made, however, that on the backs of streamers who are generally regarded as positive, the community at large would follow suit. Seems reasonable. Regardless, I think we can all agree it's a breath of fresh air in a land where most people don't even bother with voice chat if they can help it. We've seen this across a couple different games. I think you and I were commenting on Sea of Thieves, for instance, in its early days. Was generally pretty like, this is...
Which is general voice chat or people you run into?
Whatever it is. Like, generally speaking, it's like, not necessarily friendly, but it's like, at least I can have a conversation. Like, are you hostile or friendly? Can I just go do some shopping before you shoot me? And people are like, yeah, that's cool. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Like, that, it was nice. I think, again, like, people make this joke all the fucking time. Fucking Movie Bob made it in the Rampage review where it's like...
Are you doing your minute?
I guess I'm still kind of introing.
Sounds like you're doing your minute.
All right. You want to start it?
How many points does he get?
I know, because he's running out of time. I'm going to start it. Take
Okay.
a minute.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
Generally speaking, when we talk about video games and their online communities, shit gets toxic very quickly. And I think what we're seeing, or at least that what it feels like to me recently with things like Sea of Thieves, or as I don't play enough Fortnite, and I definitely don't put fucking voice chat on in that game, but apparently people are cool. It's good. The popularity is crazy, and obviously streamers are having a fucking field day with this. Like we've all seen the Ninja stuff and the Drake stuff, and the $5,000 games. Now Epic wants to make fucking Hotline Bling emotes for Fortnite because Drake's involved, and the whole deal. Like what do you do when you're that big? You fucking do that shit. You make Hotline Bling emotes. You know what I mean? But it's nice to see that we're seeing kind of this like cycle, kind of like everybody like let's be shitty, and now the wheels kind of coming back around, and be like, maybe it's nice to like get along with people and play and not be a fucking total douche all the time. Not to say that all the douche factor is not going to go away, but I don't know. It's nice to know that there are still decent communities out there, and hopefully they persist. So,
I would like to award you. That can only mean one thing, but only the Wii version of his dance, his Hotline Bling dance.
what's the Wii? Can you do it for me?
Yeah, it's where he does this, but he has the tennis racket in his hand.
Okay, I'm with you.
And he's hitting a.
That's the one where he's in the like the orange puffy jacket.
Yeah,
I don't know a lot about Drake.
it's the Hotline Bling song in the room, the one that turned into a meme where they.
Right, where he's like, no, this, and then like, yes, that, or
he just
something.
does weird dance moves, and so they were ripe with, like putting objects in his hands and making other weird things happen.
That sounds like the internet.
That's what you get.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
No, you should be grateful.
Either that, or I'll give you all the seasons of Degrassi. Right?
That's the the Canadian
teen drama
Saved by the
show
Bell
that
that he
started
was on?
Drake's career.
Got it. Okay. Was that a Disney thing?
No.
You sure?
Is Disney Canadian?
Disney's everywhere. Disney is the planet.
Yeah, you know we're all going to be citizens of Disney.
I'm pretty
at some
sure
point.
Disney's going to buy Epic at some point, and they're just going to
Really?
own Fortnite.
I thought we were all going to live in the Amazon.
No, it's either going to be Disney or Amazon or Elf or the Alibaba or something, and then those three are going to rule the world, and we're going to be citizens of either of those any of those countries.
It's possible.
Thank you for my award, I guess.
Enjoy. It's a long show.
Nick,
Hey,
you're up.
What exactly is the question?
Talk to me about why it's good or bad or whatever that you. It's your minute. Don't fucking tell me. It's you use it like how you
Make it
want.
Fortnite related?
Yeah, it's
Fortnite
good
players
communities.
are
Good
nice.
communities are nice.
Why?
Why is that surprising? Why
Why
is
do you
that good?
care?
Why do you give a shit?
I don't know why exactly Fortnite players are so much better than other people, or if they are necessarily. I play with a few. They tend to be fairly well-spirited. I don't have bad experiences online for some reason. I don't know if it's because I'm a white male or something, but they can't tell I'm white. They can tell I'm male because of my voice, but...
He starts every match with, "I'm a white male. Leave me alone." Sorry.
I'm immune to you.
But I don't know. Fortnite is incredibly popular with like the younger generation, younger than us in a way. Like none of us really play it a lot. I've played it more than you guys have, probably. Sure.
I played a good amount, but
and then I made you download it, but you haven't played it with me yet. That's right. But I don't know. Like it just reminds me of like when it came out on mobile, and there was like this huge story about all these all the girlfriends of the boys who played Fortnite before. Are now not returning phone calls to their boyfriends because they're too busy playing Fortnite on their phone to get back at their boyfriends for playing Fortnite on their PlayStations or Xboxes before or something.
And they should have been hanging out.
When they should have been hanging out. So now everybody's playing Fortnite. This entire generation is, and it's become a huge phenomenon. Like it's the biggest thing since Candy Crush. It's making like $2 million a day or something. The IO app. The mobile version or something is making that much money. Yeah. Which is ridiculous. But then it reminded me when I saw a video of when they introduced the 20v20v20v20, the 5 teams of 20 teams. It was a new mode or something because it was 100 players before. So they split it into a bunch of teams. And like people that didn't know each other were like helping each other get across the map when they're like down and everything. And people were like ecstatic with how helpful people were being to each other. Just random people that they just met in the game. They're not even talking to them, and like they're dead, and they're just reviving them and moving around the map, and it's cool. It's a fun little thing. It's exciting. It's cool.
That was a long ass minute.
It was 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's fair. Double points. Double points.
Dock me if you want.
Oh yeah. Okay. 2 thumbs up emojis. Skin tone color 1, which is white, by the way.
Or is that yellow?
I don't know. Pretty sure it's the white one.
I always choose the one that changes colors because it's more fun. It's flashy.
It's like an emo.
It's like
/ GIF /
Nick
it's like a
emoji.
thumbs. It's like a thumbs that turns on and off. When it turns black, it's off. When it's
No, don't do that.
come on.
Oh, you were doing so good.
Nick and the Technicolor thumbs up.
You can't see it, but Nick's wearing blackface on this podcast right now.
Oh my
No,
god!
I'm kidding. No.
Jesus
All right.
Christ.
Do you want to award? You gave him. Oh, you
I gave him. Let's move on.
Please and thank you.
Just get the next topic.
Yeah. No, he gets
got
his
something to
minute.
say?
He's got his minute. I got to
I
award
don't know
him.
much to say. I'll
You
just
got
share.
something to say?
Yeah, I'll just share a little story about my Overwatch experience today, just to explain why I believe. I don't know that many games have shitty people in them.
We're going to get to that.
Went into a competitive game and somebody posted a message first saying that they were doing a charity Twitch stream for somebody, so that like like a disabled kid, so they could buy him like a wheelchair or something like that. And then everyone took that as an opportunity to be like, I'm probably on a Twitch stream right now. Why don't I say the most offensive things in chat to respond to this guy? And it was horrid. I mean, they went racial with it. They got just hardcore offensive about disabilities, and it was quick. It ballooned so fast that I was just like, I'm
not yelling at you guys.
Yeah, I was like, I think I want to quit. Like, what the fuck is going on? Anyway, so yeah, that's the kind of thing you usually get every day in most games online, that experience. So, if Fortnite is less than that, I don't know why, but that's cool.
I have no idea yet. We haven't figured it out.
That was today. That was hours ago.
I'll say this: I'm going to award you one big red Staples button that just turns off voice chat.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, so you just hit
watch
that
that
shit, right? I soloing in Overwatch back in the day. I haven't played recently, but got pretty ugly.
I don't have that bad experience that you guys do. So
The B.
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
Topic the B.
Topic the B.
Ready?
There's malware out there that locks up your files until you're. It's not malware, I guess it's ransomware. But there's ransomware out there that locks up your files until you boot up a game of PUBG, which feels like an elaborate joke. Aren't there better ways to get people to play games? Maybe not. How long till Epic makes a version of this for Fortnite and then PUBG tries to sue them over genre infringement? You've each got a minute to posit a scenario where ransomware like this is beneficial, or what a reasonable response to this weirdness would be, or how maybe they should be taking cues from the friendly Fortnite community. Because flip side of the coin, guys. Joe, why don't you start?
I don't really have anything to say.
I'll go, I guess.
Okay.
I award you with the ransomware that makes you have to play PUBG.
Are you saying you're trying to hold me ransom until I give you a minute?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I don't negotiate with terrorists. And that's my minute.
Well done. Nick?
Hey.
Hi.
How's it going?
Yeah.
This was kind of funny, I thought, because it wasn't a serious bug. I mean, like
It's relatively easy to get around.
Yeah, anybody who has any kind of computer savvy, which I guess is none of Congress, but it's
Senate.
Both.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah.
They're all Congress, I thought. No.
Something checks and balances.
Yeah.
Keep going.
What are we talking about?
Where are our checks and balances? That's what we want to know.
PUBG bug. There are times when we need Alexandra here. Yeah.
This was funny because it's easy to get around. It wasn't terribly malicious. It's more of like a joke in a way.
Yeah.
At least it felt that way because it didn't really lock anything down. It just kind of made you play Fortnite for 3 minutes and then you would be able to access other things. It was easy to get rid of. It feels like a April Fool's joke or something, though it's kind of a headache for people to deal with. So, we can find better ways to make these kind of jokes.
Cool. I award you one ransomware. What's a single ransomware? How do I say it? One ransomware. Is that it? One piece of ransomware. Does that sound better?
Sure.
Where are you going with this? One in which holds you ransom until you vote.
I counter that with
upcoming elections.
I counter that with my reformat Windows card. That's a nerd.
Are you trying to say that you're not going to
counter.
vote? You're not going to vote?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying I don't give a shit about your ransomware because I'll just get rid of it.
But that's that would have gone into my minute. There's your ransomware. It holds your all lockout. It's like mom goes, hey, I turned off
advocacy for democracy kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I turned off all the Wi-Fi in the house until you fucking vote.
Until you jam that controller up your
I
butt,
enabled the
fucking-
V-chip
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
V-chip.
for you kids.
Oh, God.
V-chip is something you put in a TV.
We need to
that
bring it
stops
back.
your-
Let's bring the V-chip back, right?
Yeah.
We're all old enough that we can be like, you fucking kids
What
need
did
a
the
V-chip.
V stand for?
Vagina. That's what it always stands for, right?
Virginity.
Virginity.
Really?
Well, just, unsullied, so to speak.
Virgin sensor.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of V words. I mean, there are.
Verily.
Voluptuous.
Where's the V for Vendetta fucking soliloquy that he does? There's a lot of V words in there.
Oh yes, there is.
That was about all of them.
Go back to like episode 10 of this show and you'll listen to me do it. All right.
Visage,
Voraciously.
vivacious,
verisimilitude.
I like behemoth.
vestitude,
Veracity.
Did you just say that twice? Did you say it back to back?
I didn't say veracity.
I thought you said. Oh, you said ferocious.
I said ferocious.
That's ferocious.
No, ferocious.
it's a different guy. It's softer.
It's way to.
It's how the V chip translates ferocious, so it's a little easier to hear.
It's when a velociraptor attacks you. They're
ferocious. Do they come at you with a high velocity?
No.
All right. Last minute.
We got
viscosity.
Yeah. Varnish. Vast. Very.
Yeah, well done.
Sorry.
I think it's hilarious that we can sit here and talk about how awesome Fortnite's friendly community is, and then we talk about PUBG where people are like literally coercing you into play by ransomware.
I bet it was a Fortnite guy that made the PUBG ransomware.
Well, from my experience watching like Twitch or whatever, like 9 out of 10 PUBG streamers are also Fortnite streamers, unless you're Ninja, where it's like, wow, only 500,000 people are going to watch me tonight if I play PUBG. But like most people are jumping back and forth. You know what I mean?
A lot of people to switch to Fortnite because it's a lot more profitable to stream Fortnite than it is PUBG. Like the big streamers that were playing PUBG had to switch over.
Can we award him half the points of my minute?
Oh, I thought
no,
I thought we were done.
No, it's okay. Ultimately. Obviously, we just got miles to go. You know what I mean? So it's if you're a gamer out there, I think, especially if you're older like us, it's easier to be like, fuck you guys, I don't want to fucking listen to, dumb jokes or be fucking combative for the sake of anonymity just because I know I can. It's more like, I don't know, let's play this and have fun. No? Like, I know how stupid that sounds, but like, the older I get, the more difference that kind of thing makes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I just want to jump in here and enjoy this because it looks really fun, and the more we promote our own engagement with having that kind of fun, the better off we're all going to be. So, the more you know.
That was too educational. I'm going to word you one single chat message that just says "crap team."
Alt F4 to power up. Yeah,
it's at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Crap team.
Okay,
is what you get.
I just say trash.
Trash team works.
GG easy.
I don't say anything. I just say trash.
That's why you don't get me, because you're vague enough that they're like, trash what? Was he talking to us? Probably not.
It was a private message, guys.
He's probably a white male. It's going to be okay.
Well, we can't touch him, so yeah. All right. I mean, that's how it goes. I got my one message. I feel like I got rewarded appropriately. I suppose it's time to
trash team. What a trash team we were today.
It was pretty trashy. I do think we should call the episode V-Chip, though.
It's possible.
Episode 164 has come to a close, everybody. That's it. Thank you, listeners, for lending us your ears for an hour and change. Please hit us up at cheatcodespodcast.com on Facebook and on Twitter and get in on the conversation. Hit us up, we'll hit you back. Man, that's how it works. We are willing to be an engaged social media presence.
Send us your Facebook personal info and we will.
I can't wait to watch you on your webcam.
Whoa.
Also, be sure to check
Peak Code.
Check out our Patreon page. You can become a patron for as little as $2 a month. Thanks to everyone who's jumped on board so far and keeping us stocked with beer. Mostly, we appreciate it. Until next time, objects in the mirror are closer than they appear.